Today we are going to have a very important session and we'll be reading chapter 3. So, last two times it was very, I know, like last chapter was very intense. It could have been very intense for many of you because we did the mirror work in that. Welcome, Jyoti ji. Um, and chapter 3 is also going to be amazing. So I'm going to start with a short meditation before like everybody joins in. So it would take us about 2-3 minutes. We just center ourselves. I'd rather call it like a centering exercise. And meanwhile, what I need you to do is just close your eyes and sit comfortably wherever you're sitting and gently close your eyes and follow my voice. Okay. Close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath. Can you hear me? Allow your body to relax. Take several slow, easy breaths. And as you inhale, tell yourself, I am. And as you exhale, tell yourself, relaxed. Once again, inhaling and telling yourself, I am. Exhaling and telling yourself, peaceful. One more time, take a nice, gentle breath. Tell yourself, I am. And take a nice exhale, telling yourself, safe, knowing that you are indeed relaxed, peaceful, safe, divinely guided, and protected at all times. And whatever you need from today's session, you will receive it abundantly. With that, bringing your awareness back into this room, this time and space, cultivating, willing to cultivate a moment, a session of deep awareness, learning, growth, and impact. You can open your eyes whenever you feel you're ready. All right, welcome to chapter 3. So, chapter 3. You can switch on your cameras. It would be nice to see your lovely faces. Hello, Rupaji. Thank you so much. Jyoti ji, please switch on your camera. Achal, Trishna, Priya, Ankita, Purva, Harshada. And did I miss anyone? No. Okay. And Mahi. Hi. Okay, all of you. So, do you have the book with you? We're
Yes,
going to
yes.
start reading chapter 3. Chapter 3. Where does it come from? The past has no power over me. All right, we have gone through a lot of stuff and we have sifted through what we thought the problem was. Now we have come up with what I believe is the real problem. We feel we are not good enough and there is lack of self love. From the way I look at life, if there is any problem, then this has to be true. So let us look at where this belief came from. How did we go from being a tiny baby who knows the perfection of itself and of life to being a person who has problems and feels unworthy and unlovable to one degree or another? People who already love themselves can love themselves even more. Think of a rose from the time it is a tiny bud. As it opens to full flower till the last petal falls, it is always beautiful, always perfect, always changing. So it is with us. We are always perfect, always beautiful, and ever changing. We are doing the best we can with the understanding, awareness, and knowledge we have. As we gain more understanding, awareness, and knowledge, then we will do things differently. Mental house cleaning. Now it is the time to examine our past a bit more, to take a look at some of our beliefs that have been running us. Some people find this part of cleansing process very painful, but it need not be. We must look at what is there before we can clean it out. If you want to clean a room thoroughly, you will pick up and examine everything in it. Some things you will look at with love and you will dust them or polish them to give them new beauty. Some things you will see that needs refinishing or repair and you will make a note to do that. Some things will never serve you again and becomes it becomes time to let those things go. Old magazines and newspapers and dirty paper plates can be dropped into the waste basket very calmly. There is no need to get angry in order to clean a room. It is the same thing when we are cleaning our mental house. There is no need to get angry. Just because some of the beliefs in it are ready to be tossed out. Let them go as easily as you would scrape bits of food into the trash after a meal. Would you really dig into yesterday's garbage to make tonight's meal? Do you dig into old mental garbage to create tomorrow's experiences? If a thought or a belief does not serve you, let it go. There is no written law that says that because you once believed something, you have to continue to believe it forever. Let's look at some limiting beliefs and where they came from. Limiting belief: I am not good enough. Where it came from? A father who repeatedly told him he was stupid. He said he wanted to be a success so his daddy would be proud of him. But he was riddled with guilt, which created resentment, and all he could produce was one failure after another. Daddy kept financing businesses for him, and one after another they failed. He used failure to get even. He made his daddy pay and pay and pay. Of course, he was the biggest loser. Limiting belief, lack of self love, where it came from. Trying to win daddy's approval. The last thing she wanted was to be like her father. They couldn't agree on anything and were always arguing. She only wanted his approval, but instead, all she got was criticism. Her body was full of pains. Her father had exactly the same kind of pains. She did not realize her anger was creating her pains just as her father's anger was creating pain for him. Limiting belief. Life is dangerous. Where it came from. A frightened father. Another client saw life as grim and harsh. It was difficult for her to laugh, and when she did, she would become frightened that something bad would happen. She has been reared with the admonition, don't laugh or they might get you. Limiting belief, I am not good enough. Where it came from, being abandoned and ignored. It was difficult for him to talk. Silence has become a way of life for him. He had just come off drugs and alcohol and was convinced that he was terrible. I discovered his mother had died when he was very young and he had been reared by an aunt. The aunt seldom spoke except to give an order, and he was brought up in silence. He even ate alone in silence and stayed quietly in his room day after day. He had a lover who was also a silent man, and they spent most of their time alone in silence. The lover died, and once again he was all alone. Exercise. Negative messages. The next exercise we do is to get a large sheet of paper and make a list of all the things your parents said were wrong with you. What were the negative messages you heard? Give yourself enough time to remember as many as you can. A half an hour usually works well. What did they say about money? What did they say about your body? What did they say about love and relationship? What did they say about your creative talents? What were the limiting or negative things they said about you? If you can, just look objectively at these items and say to yourself, so that's where that belief came from. Now let's take a new sheet of paper and dig a little deeper. What other negative messages did you hear as a child? Okay, now, so we're going to pause here for a while, right? So I am going to ask you to start doing what is mentioned in the exercise. So what I need you to do is, you all have your journal and pen with you? Okay. So what I need you to do is, you can write about, make columns. So first write, what did your parents tell you about yourself? आपने अपने बारे में क्या सुना अपने पेरेंट्स से? Then, so first write me or myself, then write money in second column. Third, write body. Fourth, write love and relationship. Fifth, uh, write talents. So we have already covered. And only negative things. Now, remember, this exercise we are not doing to blame your parents or anything. This is just a very objective exercise, and it needs to be done just like that. Like, you're looking at things, because these are the very things that is coming in the way of you having the life which you so want and desire. So I'll give you about 5 minutes to do this. 5 minutes is okay? Okay. If you have any question, just unmute yourself and you can ask me. Yes, Mahi, do you have a question?
Yes. Just there is just one thing. Now they say that we are always perfect, always beautiful, ever changing. We do the best we have. So, but then if we keep thinking like this, even when we are wrong, it can bounce back.
See, I will give answer to that question towards the end. So
Okay.
just park it and make a note of it and then ask me again towards the end. Okay? Right now, I need you to write what the instructions which I gave you. Are you clear about the instructions? Please start writing that. Rupa ji, yes, we have to write only about what our parents said right now. This is the first part of the exercise. So, what our parents said. And about all these things, about us, about money, about relationship, all these things. Okay?
Hi, Priya. We have to write about these 3 points, no? About self, about money, about relationships. You're muted. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. So, about talents which you have, what did they tell you about the talents you had?
okay. So it is something like our mind gets conditioned to what our parents have told us since our childhood, our early childhood.
Yeah, yeah, we're going to look into that.
Okay,
And also about your body. What did they tell you about your body?
okay,
We have 1 minute more.
okay. So I think I am done.
Okay. Uh, Mahi, are you done? Okay.
Yeah.
Rupa ji, are you done? Achal, I saw your message. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes. Rupa ji, are you done? Okay, thank you. So I know that you're doing a duty and still you managed to join us. Thank you so much. It's okay if you're not able to do the exercises right now. You can go back and perhaps do it in your free time. But make sure that you're doing it. Okay? All right. Now take another page, like turn to another page in your journal. And there you write, what other negative messages did you hear as a child? Now, as you see how it is written in the book, so just write number one from relatives, number two from teachers, number three from friends. Number from 4 from authority figures. Number 5 from church. तो यहाँ church लिखा हुआ है. You can write any, like if there is a religious organization or something. Write them all down. Take your time. Be aware of what feelings are going on in your body. So let's take another 5 minutes to write.
Okay, Priya. So I assume we have to write all these points from our childhood
Yes, from
or
your
till date.
childhood, what negative messages did you hear as a child from
Okay.
all these people apart from your parents?
Okay.
Which could be your relatives, which could be your teachers, which could be your friends, authority figures. When we say authority figures, if you have an older brother or sister, a sibling, neighbors,
Okay.
if you used to go to say religious, किसी जगह पे
Places,
आप जाते
anywhere,
थे,
yeah.
ये
Any
place, yeah,
religious gathering or social something.
हाँ,
Yeah.
yeah, all of that. Those people may or may not be directly, related to you, but they influenced your life in some way or the other. That's the idea.
Okay.
Okay, take 1 more minute. Do we need more time? Okay, mine's done. Rupaji, are you also done? Meenuji?
Yes, I have done, but I was not able to recall anything negative from my early childhood or middle childhood. I couldn't recall anything.
That's
So it
okay.
was absolutely, yeah.
So it's not just that we are doing this exercise, only for today. It's an ongoing process.
Okay.
Sometimes we do something and then sometimes triggers come up and we don't know what those triggers are, where it is coming from, actually. So the idea is to create an awareness. Right. So I'm going to read this three, four lines and then I'll open the group for sharing. So whatever you have written, very briefly, just share with me after I'm done reading these four lines. So what you have on these two pieces of paper are the thoughts that need to be removed from your consciousness. They are the very beliefs you have that are making you feel not good enough. Okay. So now, first of all, whatever we share, though I'm recording the session, but for this part, I think I would want to stop recording. Okay. So for just this part, where you are going to share, I'm going to. So, seeing yourself as a child. If we were to take a 3-year-old child and put him in the middle of a room, and you and I were to start yelling at the child, telling him how stupid he was, how he could never do anything right, how he should do this and shouldn't do that, and look at the mess he made, and maybe hit him a few times, we would end up with a frightened little child who sits docilely in the corner or who tears up the place. The child will go one of these two ways, but we will never know the potential of that child. If we take the same child and tell him how much we love him, how much we care, that we love the way he looks and love how bright and clever he is, that we love the way he does things, and that it's okay for him to make mistakes as he learns, and that he will always be there for him, that we will always be there for him no matter what, then the potential that comes out of that child will blow your mind. Each one of us has a 3-year-old child within us, and we often spend most of our time yelling at that kid and ourselves, yelling at that kid in ourselves. Then we wonder why our lives don't work. If you had a friend who was always criticizing you, would you want to be around that person? Perhaps you were treated this way as a child, and that is sad. However, that was a long time ago. And if you are now choosing to treat yourself in the same way, then it is sadder still. So now, here in front of us, we have a list of negative messages we heard as a child. How does this list correspond with what you believe to be wrong with you? Are they almost the same? So, here is like take a moment to reflect on this. Probably yes. We base our life script on our early messages. We are all good little children and obediently accept what they tell us as truths. It would be very easy just to blame our parents and be victims for the rest of our lives, but that wouldn't be much fun. And it certainly wouldn't get us out of such of our stuck position. Blaming your family. Blame is one of the surest way to stay in a problem. In blaming another, we give away our power. Understanding enables us to rise above the issue and take control of our future. The past cannot be changed. The future is shaped by our current thinking. It is imperative for our freedom to understand that our parents were doing the best they could with the understanding, awareness, and knowledge they had. Whenever we blame someone else, we are not taking responsibility for ourselves. Those people who did all those terrible things to us were just as frightened and scared as you are. They felt just the same helplessness as you do. The only things they could possibly teach you are what they had been taught. How much do you know about your parents' childhoods, especially before the age of 10? If it's still possible for you to find out, ask them. If you are able to find out about your parents' childhoods, you will more easily understand why they did what they did. Understanding will bring you compassion. If you don't know and can't find out, try to imagine what it must have been like for them. What kind of childhood would create an adult like that? You need this knowledge for your own freedom. You can't free yourselves until you free them. You can't forgive yourself until you forgive them. If you demand perfection for them, you will demand perfection for yourself and you will be miserable all your life. Okay, if you have a pen or pencil, just mark these lines. Choosing our parents. I agree with the theory that we choose our parents. The lessons that we learn seem perfectly matched to the weaknesses of the parents we have. I believe we are all on an endless journey through eternity. We come to this planet to learn particular lessons that are necessary for our spiritual evolution. We choose our sex, our color, our country, and then we look around for the perfect set of parents who will mirror our patterns. Our visits to this planet are like going to school. If you want to become a beautician, you go to a beauty school. If you want to become a mechanic, you go to a mechanic school. If you want to become a lawyer, you go to law school. The parents you pick this time around are the perfect couple who are experts in what you have chosen to learn. When we grow up, we have a tendency to point our finger accusingly at our parents and say, "You did this to me." But I believe we choose them. Listening to others. Our older brothers and sisters are gods to us when we are little. If they were unhappy, they probably took it out on us physically or verbally. They might have said things like, "I'll tell on you for," instilling guilt. "You're just a baby. You can't do that. You're too stupid to play with us." Teachers at school often influence us greatly. In the fifth grade, a teacher told me emphatically I was too tall to be a dancer. I believed her and put away my dancing ambitions until I was too old to make dancing a career. Did you understand that tests and grades were only to see how much knowledge you had at a given time? Once again. Or were you a child who allowed tests and grades to measure self worth? Our early friends share their own misinformation about life with us. The other kids at school can tease us and leave lasting hurts. When I was a child, my last name was Looney, and the kids used to call me lunatic. Neighbors also have an influence, not only because of their remarks, but also because we are asked, "What will the neighbors think?" Think back to other authority figures who were influential in your childhood. And of course, there are the strong and very persuasive statements made by advertisements in periodicals and on television. All too many products are sold by making us feel we are unworthy or wrong if we don't use them. We are all here to transcend our early limitations, whatever they were. We are here to recognize our own magnificence and divinity, no matter what they told us. You have your negative beliefs to overcome, and I have my negative beliefs to overcome. Okay, so that was the end of chapter 3. Hi, Tanmay. You joined in. We are just about to wrap up the session. Please come at 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock is when we start the session. Okay, so I'm going to take you through a little meditation and then affirmation treatment. And then after that, I wanted to tell you that we'll be reading two chapters together now. So chapter 4, 5, then the week after that 6, 7, and week after that 8 and 9. So we are done with the first part, which is the session with Louise. Okay. And some of you were asking me if I take personal coaching. Yes, I do. I do take personal coaching. And I'm going to just share in the chat with you. Here is a link you can book. And my calendar is also given in that. So you can book it as per your convenience. You can make a note of this. I'm sharing it in the chat. Okay. All right. So before I close the session, Mahi, you had a question. Do you want to ask it again? And if anyone wants to make any comment or wants to share something.
Yeah, I just wanted to know there was one point, page 25, that we are always perfect, always beautiful, ever changing. We are doing the best we can with the understanding, awareness, and knowledge we have. Like, this positivity is great, but sometimes when the person has done something wrong and the person applies this, then don't you think that can lead to ego or can lead to further mistakes?
See, as a person, as people, I think we do know what is wrong and what is right. When we are doing it, as
Mm-hmm.
people, we do know कि ये सही है और ये गलत है. And then, there's this little voice inside our head. Before taking any action, that voice will stop you. And that is your intuitive wisdom, you know, and you will know what is right and what is not. And whatever has happened in the past. Now, though, you
Mm-hmm.
can't do anything about it. That's why Louise also says that the point of power is always in the present moment,
Definitely.
it's in the now. So it has happened in the past. Now, if you're feeling guilty about it, it's of no use because guilt will always seek punishment and then you will go into that, uh, self-sabotaging loop again.
But despite knowing what is right and wrong, some people do tend to feel they are best. So then that, I think then the universe takes charge, I believe.
Yeah, and you
Mm.
also can't do anything about it. If you're talking about people, then
Mm.
people, so anyway, you can't control. The only person you can always control is yourself because you're
Yeah.
the only thinker in your mind. We read that
Mhm.
in our last session, right? So the only person who is the only thinker is you.
Oh, right. Got it. Got your point. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All
Thank you.
right. So any other questions you have, any comments you want to make, anyone, or I'll move to closing the session with an affirmation treatment then.
I think we can go ahead with the affirmation prayer.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play a little music in the background. I really like it. And what I need you to do is just close your eyes, sit back and relax. All is perfect, whole, and complete. The past has no power because I'm willing to learn and to change. I see the past as necessary to bring me to where I am today. I am willing to begin where I am right now to clean the rooms of my mental house. I know it does not matter where I start. So I now begin with the smallest and easiest rooms. And in that way, I will see results quickly. I am thrilled to be in the middle of this adventure, for I know I will never go through this particular experience again. I am willing to set myself free. Feel well in my heart. Gently bring your awareness to this time and space. Your eyes, a big smile on your face. And whenever you're ready, just open your eyes. Welcome back.
Thank you, Priya.
Thank you so much for joining in today, all of you, each one of you.
Thank you so much. I think I have a lot of work to do today from this book. I have
Yes,
to read again all the chapters, but it was really nice, very beautiful, and I could relate. जो भी आपने exercise दी थी, I could relate with it, and it's actually putting some, feed to my mind. I have to work on it. I have to rethink on these lines, whatever you made us do, the exercises during the session. I think every one of us felt the same. And, just visiting back our childhood during the session while doing this exercise it felt nice.
yeah. We'll be doing more such exercises because that's a lost connection,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
connection we have with ourselves as children. That's a
yeah,
lost connection. And that's where all the joy and happiness, comes from. And we keep forgetting that. So we need to
yeah,
bring that child factor and that um, the little pinch of happiness back into our lives, right? So do
yeah,
work on that and do work on all the limiting beliefs that we saw today. Maybe you didn't get it all together, and that's fine. You can keep writing it as you build
yeah,
the awareness, and that's the whole point. That's the whole idea to generate awareness about ourselves, to know ourselves better. Because until and unless we don't
this
know
5
ourselves,
minute was a short time to, just go back to
yeah,
the
I
childhood
know.
and do. So we'll be doing it. Like I'll be doing it. So I have a lot of work to do during this week.
Yeah, yeah.
Then I can share with you.
Absolutely. And don't forget the mirror work, each one of you. Please, first thing in the morning, go to the mirror, tell yourself, I love you, you're amazing, you're doing amazing job, and make it a habit. Yeah. We'll revisit all that and rest I'll post in the group. So thank you so much.
And Tanmay, how are you? Achal, how are you? So we were missing you guys, both of you, because it has become a group where we, read and think and exercise together. So it's good to have all of you together here in this reading session. So please do join in next time on time. So we are on the same page. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody who joined in. Thank you, Priya. Gratitude to you. So I
Thank
think we are closing the session now.
you.
And keep shining, keep smiling, all of you. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend ahead.
Thank
Okay,
you.
all right. So I think we can close the meeting. Priya?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you, ma'am.
See you
Thank you.
all. Bye bye.